themselves in a final after tonight in the Europa League. Let's go to former player Tony Gale, who's joining us now, Paul. Tony, good morning to you. You're trailing in this one. How are you feeling?
Pretty nervous. Even I woke up early for this interview. That's how nervous I was. Cool, blimey.
It's usually about 11 a.m, isn't it, Tone?
It's unprecedented, lads, that we're in a final like this, and it's just so nervous for West Ham fans. But I think it's been good for West Ham, and it's been good for the Europa Cup as well. It's been fantastic for the Europa Cup that West Ham and Glasgow Rangers have progressed so far.
I've got to ask you, Tony, the thing is, there were a lot of West Ham fans early on in the tournament, because let's face it, the Europa League is a very long tournament, a lot of games to play, that were thinking, is this going to be the right thing for us? It's been a long time since we've had any success. And I don't know about you, but at what point did you start believing, thinking, this could be on for us this year?
I was believing from the start, really, Paul, because, when you have a look at the Europa Cup, it's based with teams that really the players are not good enough to get in the Premier League, because we got the best league in the world, without a doubt, because this is where the money is, in the Premier League. So if you're any good as a player, then you'll be in the Premier League. So you have to think, well, is your manager going to get his tactics right? And are we going to be any good in it? I may be lacking a little bit of experience, but of course we've got international players in our team. Declan Rice, one included, who probably is the best, or one of the best midfield players in the world. So you have to think you're going to progress, and they've been really good so far.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, but I guess that as far as Declan Rice is concerned, though, they need to stay in the competition and need to win the competition, which then, if they win the Europa League, of course, goes into the Champions League next year. And Declan Rice is one of these players that is very, very interesting to a lot of other bigger clubs, with respect to West Ham, of course.
Yes, he is, Paul. But those bigger clubs at the moment are not in that little bit of moment in time where maybe they can afford Declan, because they've all got their prioritising positions. Man City with Haaland, and you look at Liverpool, Fabinho's in that position. You look at Chelsea, they got financial problems, which we all know about. And you look at Man United, sorry, Eamon, they're in a little bit of a state of turmoil at the moment, where maybe that's going to take another 4 or 5 years for them to get into those kind of positions that City and Liverpool are. And does Declan want to be part of that? So I think the options for him are a little bit less now, and maybe he's better off staying with us.
We're still the biggest team in Manchester, it turns out. But anyway, West Ham could well be facing Rangers, who are in a similar position to you, trailing by a goal against Leipzig tonight. But they are at home.
They are at home, Eamon, but it's a question with Rangers of playing with their heads rather than their hearts, because, as you know, anyone who's been up there, that atmosphere will be absolutely incredible. So it's sorting your heads out there that when you come out that tunnel, that you don't get overridden with all that anxiety from the fans, all that enthusiasm, and you really play with your heads. So I'm really hoping for Rangers West Ham final. I've got to be honest. I think they've both got great chances. They really have. And, after the Champions League semi-finals, the previous couple of evenings, I'm really looking forward to these.
Steve, just want to ask you before we say goodbye to you, in your long and illustrious career, Tony, sorry, did you swap many shirts?
Not really, George. No.
Worth about 7 million quid, the one that you might have.
No. We only had 2 shirts a season back then in my long and illustrious career, whereas opposed to 2 shirts per game.
Per game. Now, the reason I bring this up, and the reason that Steve slipped out of my mouth there, I'm thinking of Steve Hodge, right, from Nottingham Forest, and playing in that famous Hand of God fixture back in 1986, and he swapped shirts with Maradona, and that shirt sold for 7 million quid. I thought this was Maradona's family selling this, but it was Steve Hodge.
I know Steve very well, and he used to bring it in, because when he used to come into Spurs, and he would bring this shirt in a plastic bag and say, there we are, have a look at that, £7 million has gone for.
7 million quid, incredible. Hey, what do you think of that?
Unbelievable. And what I would say is, when I started my career at Fulham with George Best, Rodney Marsh and Bobby Moore. I just wish I'd have kept one of those shirts, because I was an apprentice and then a first-year pro playing in the team with those guys. Imagine having one of those shirts now. Especially Bestie. What a player.
You've got to get in the loft this afternoon. Get in there, sort through. There's got to be something that's going to be worth at least £5 million.
That was an open goal missed for you, Tony. Tony, got to say goodbye to you. Thanks very much indeed. Good luck to West Ham tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, good luck.
Good luck to Rangers as well.